Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the show. Glad to have you guys here. Today is Monday, the 17th of May, 2021. Thank you for tuning in. Now, listen, silver. What is stopping the big time institutional investors from going into the physical market? We all know they can go into the derivatives market, which is the futures contracts, anytime they want. SLV, they don't have to take delivery. But what's stopping them from going in? Well, going back years and years ago, the Hunt brothers decided to buy physical, and they had a lot of money back then, and they charged them. They charged them with trying to corner the silver market. Made big trouble for them. And, they allow these guys all the time to go in there and manipulate the price to the downside using futures contracts. And very rarely do they ever cause them any real problems. Once in a while they'll slap them with a fine or whatever, or charge them. But it's not very often. It's mostly they let. But the Hunt brothers, when they went and tried to buy physical, by gosh, they had the wrist slapped really quick. And they remember that. But there's more than that. Think about if you were a big institutional investor and you wanted to buy physical. So, remember, not long ago, Tesla bought over $1 billion worth of Bitcoin? Not a problem, because it's like buying Fugazi. Anything that's just digits on a screen is easy to purchase. But taking delivery of physical, it's a different story. So you want to buy $1 billion worth of physical silver. What's involved? Probably a line of armored trucks, 200 trucks long. Seriously. And tons and tons and tons and tons. Each truck would probably have to hold 30,000 pounds of silver. And you'd have 200 trucks lined up. That's $1 billion. That would be what probably what it would be, something like if you tried to purchase $1 billion worth of physical silver and corner the market like the Hunt brothers did. But now, in the retail investor out there, the guy goes into his coin store and buys a 20 roll of silver coins, and takes delivery. It fits in his hand. He walks out of the store. You can get an army of those people. And that's what we've been seeing. Armies of them drawing from the silver supplies that they have available for sale, And that could get an awful lot worse. And in a small way, they're like a mosquito, He lands on you. He doesn't take much blood, but, you get 1 billion mosquitoes land on you, and they're going to drain you dry, And that's the way with the silver right now, If we get an army of people coming in and wanting to take delivery of physical in a small way, it can add up into a big amount. But we don't see these big retail investors going in and trying to gobble up huge amounts like the Hunt brothers did anymore. We don't really see that. But we do see them taking silver off of the COMEX. In quite large amounts. Maybe not $1 billion worth, but they add up too. And what it's all added up to is when you go to your coin store or places where APMEX or any of them, and you look and go to buy silver right now, what you're going to notice is they're half out of inventory. So basically what we've done is we've pretty much come about halfway for them running out of silver. Now, if inflation starts to really heat up bad and we actually see more than just signals that inflation's coming, we see permanently entrenched inflation and it's really high, demand's going to increase even more than it is now. And can the market bear that extra demand? I don't think it can. I think if the demand doubles from where it is right now, I think it's going to be game over. And I think we're going to see shortages, massive shortages, in not only silver but gold too. And when it comes to that moment, all these people who are stuck in futures, SLV, GLD sort of thing, and all they got is paper silver, they think they got real silver. well, you're going to find out who's actually holding the real thing, and others are all going to have to settle in dollars. So that's where we're sitting with that. Let's get the markets open and take a look at what's going on today in the actual real time. Let's open up the charts right here and take a look at what's going on. Silver price today is up 71 cents and it's shooting to the moon. It's at $28.14. I'm going to give you guys the mark that needs to pass. The $33 mark is going to be a spot in the silver price. When it goes up over $33, if it continues higher, it could go massively high. And at that's going to be kind of like the spot where it could, it could roll over, or that's kind of like the fork in the road right there, $33. So we're looking at $28.14. So things are heating up for silver and gold today. Let's take a look at gold today. $1,886, and it's up $22.20 on the day so far. Now let's take a look at cryptocurrencies. Cryptocurrencies has been suffering. It's at just over 2 billion, 2 billion and 45, no, 2 trillion and 45 billion. That's where it's at right now. And we're looking at a Bitcoin price of $43,955. Now, I'm going to tell you about this. This has just been through a huge bull market, right? And nothing goes up in a straight line. But just like gold and silver are way out of the dollar, there's not many avenues out of the dollar. And let's not forget that cryptocurrencies is an avenue out of the dollar. And being as we're headed toward a hyperinflation, and first we're headed toward massive inflation, and then later a hyperinflation. So what we're headed toward right now is massive inflation, 1970s style inflation. These asset classes right here are going to be in demand. Cryptocurrency is going to be in demand. And so even though right now we're starting to turn downward a little bit, still the conditions out there are favorable for cryptocurrencies to still continue to try to hold their own, if not rise in price a little bit, So maybe there's not as much excitement as there was. Maybe the excitement is going to turn toward other asset classes a little bit right now, and try to find other avenues, to make a quick buck. Still, this is going to continue to be in favor, cryptocurrencies. Because of the inflation, cryptocurrencies feed off of inflation. So it's not like this is over. When you guys listened to my show yesterday, maybe you think, okay, it's over for crypto. No, it isn't over for crypto. And it's not over, not by a long shot, for gold and silver. What it is over for, ultimately, is the demise of fiat currencies. Fiat currencies are coming to their end. In the next, I'm going to put it out there, I'm going to say the next 5 to 10 years, we're going to see the death of fiat currency. And we're going to go back to hard money. So you got to position yourself on this side. Let's take a look at what the Dow's doing today. It's down 178 points. It's at 34,203. Okay, let's get in there and let's take a look at crude oil. Crude oil's at 65.98 today, and it's up 61 cents on the day. I think crude oil's heading to $70. That's what I think's happening right here. We're going to take a look now at the MOVE Index. The MOVE Index, we can see it's been going down, 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 down. It's at 54.99 today. Now, down is good in the MOVE Index. Down means stability in the credit markets. So it's a good thing, that's when that goes up, that shoots up too high, too fast, then they have to do something. The Fed has to do something. Like when we saw the repo crisis, this MOVE index shot upwards during that period in time, back around September of 2019, I think it was, when we were having trouble in the repo markets, credit market instability, and the MOVE index goes crazy. Okay, so let's take a look at bonds and rates today. Now, this could be the fly in the ointment for gold and silver if the US 10-year goes too high. But it's not going too high right now at 1.63. Got to keep our eye on that. That's big. The US 10-year, US 30-year. US 10-year today is at 1.63, and the US 30-year is at 2.35. If they start rising too fast, then that is the nemesis of gold and silver. Is these bond yields rising too high, Let's take a look now at the U.S. dollar index, 90.23. Now, if this dollar index drops below into the 80s, that'll be a big plus for gold and silver. If we see the U.S. dollar index drop to say 89.55 or something like that, then that'll be a big plus for gold and silver on the gold and silver side. But right now, look, today we're seeing gold and silver continuous march upwards. And I'm going to tell you, the sky's the limit for gold, silver, and cryptos. But what's your dollar going to buy? So if we see $500 silver, if we see $15,000 gold, what's your dollar going to buy? Well, with that kind of massive move upwards in price of gold and silver, your purchasing power of gold and silver might double. It might even go 4 times what it is right now. Right? But the dollar, its purchasing power will be cut in half and cut in half again. And so you need to have a super high in order to have more, be able to purchase more with your gold and silver, which is what's going to happen. And you're going to purchase less and less and less with your dollar. The big question mark for you guys is, where do you want to be when this all happens? Because this is happening. Sam Druckenmiller, he's not out of the loop. He realizes that this is happening. The dollar's losing its world reserve currency status, and he says 15 years. Why did he put 15 years on that? He probably thought about that quite a bit. And in his mind, does he really believe it's going to take 15 more years? Or did he say 15 more years because he doesn't want to alarm anybody out there because of the implications of the dollar losing its world reserve currency status? Does he really believe it's going to take 15 more years, or is he really thinking in his head in the next 5 years? I'm not going to try to pick his brain and say that's what he's thinking. He said 15 more years, and we'll leave it at that. But I'm thinking to myself, probably in the next 5 years. That's what I'm thinking to myself, That the dollar is going to lose its world reserve currency status. And what's that going to mean for America? And where is the world reserve currency status going to go? What is going to become the world reserve currency? Can the yuan handle that? I don't know, But there always has to be a world reserve. Like, you have to have some standard for money in the world. The dollar has been the standard for money going all the way back, And Nixon took the dollar off of gold in 1971, and I'm going to tell you, that was a watershed moment. That was unbelievable, and because he decoupled. When he decoupled the dollar from gold, he decoupled all the fiat currencies from gold. And it was just the beginning of a route that leads down into hell. Thank you guys for listening to my show. Like and subscribe, and we'll catch you guys in the very next episode. Bye-bye.